Because even the jury. Hello, everyone, and welcome to One Civil Law, where we learn through the misfortunes of others. As always, I'm your host on Civil Law, a licensed attorney in Texas, Virginia, and before the United States Supreme Court, and I'm here today to talk about the Bryan Kohberger alibi that has recently been offered because I've seen some hot takes from people, and they don't seem to understand how criminal law works, which is pretty basic when you think about it, but we'll go through it. Bryan Kohberger, as I'm sure you are aware, is accused of killing 4 students in the University of Idaho murders, that he went to this house and committed some knife murders of 4 people. The best evidence that's so far been released to the general public, which isn't to say the best information the state has, but the best information that the state has so far revealed is that there's some touch DNA that's available on the clasp, that is the latching mechanism of a knife sheath that was found on one of the victim's beds, possibly under the victim. Suggesting, of course, that it's Bryan Kohberger's DNA, and therefore he was at the scene, or at least his knife sheath was, and therefore he is potentially the murderer.
Innocent Until, what's going on, man? How y'all doing out there? I'm in the mood, man. You get in moods? I'm in the mood, man. Nothing happened. You know, I can't even remember if I gave y'all the video where I was in one of these moods before. But nothing happened. You know what I mean? I'm in the mood. I'm human, man. And that mood is a little, just fed up and frustrated. And it's crazy because I want to emphasize nothing happened. You just get, you know what? I'm going to take that back. I do realize what kicked this mood off, and I'm going to tell y'all about that. I'm glad I thought about that. But before I do, how you doing? If you're new here, man, welcome to Innocent Until. It's a very hot Thursday in Miami, Florida, 4:46 p.m., 96 degrees. And have been just finished up working on some content for my other platform. I got that video uploading, and I'm looking at the comments, from some content that I, uploaded to Innocent Until. I was asking, we're obsessed with this case. We think about it. Some of us go to sleep, wake up thinking about it, et cetera, et cetera. It's another conversation. But part of my thinking about it today was, I'm going to try to remember what I said. It didn't make sense to me why they didn't release Bryan's description early on, when they had no suspect, or they were telling the public that they had no suspect, because they have a description of the suspect that they either got from Dylan or they fabricated and pretended they got from Dylan and told us they did. But either way, you have that description and you're telling us it came from Dylan. Therefore, in my mind, things just begin to click, and I say, well, hell, if you got that description from Dylan, whether you did or not, you're telling us you did, so you got to trace that back to her. Then you had to have that early on. And early on, it's one of the first things you're going to do is talk to the 2 survivors, and you're going to get that information out of her, unless you're going to say, hey, she didn't tell us till later, which should have raised red flags to you guys. But since we don't know, we're going to go with, proper and what we know to be regular law enforcement techniques. They're going to speak to the people that are most connected with the scene, with the crime, that are allowed to tell them about it, right? Which in this case would have been Dylan and Bethany, one of them having a description. So you're going to get that description early, but you don't put it out to the public. And what case do you know when you're looking for a suspect and you have details on them? Notice how I said them and not him. We him these things way too much. I'm not going to go into that bag. Y'all already know how I feel if you're a regular here. But you already have details on your suspect, but you don't release them to the public when you're out here looking for them. And in this case, they've murdered 4 people. You don't tell us that Dylan seen this person and the description of this person, which magically somehow seemingly in some ways fits Bryan, until after Bryan's arrested. That just seems crazy to me, especially when I was even thinking about this and making a post to put it out and ask the question, just toss it to you guys. I also remember how Chief Fry was, happy to come out and say, that the community is safe and there's nothing to worry about. And it occurs to me that the only reason you say that, and I said this in my original video, they know who they're looking for. And I'm not original video guy, so at this point in time, I'm not suspecting anybody but whoever committed this crime. I'm not thinking there's anything nefarious going on. I'm not thinking Dylan and Bethany. I'm not thinking any of that. 4 children just got murdered. I'm on my, hey man, this was a ritual killing. This was a serial killer who just got loose, you know, maybe some drugs or something were involved because they were in college and this is a party house. I'm on all of that, you know what I mean? But I'm not thinking, man, this is a huge conspiracy cover-up, not thinking any of that. You know, and now we all have questions, man. But I don't get that. How can you tell the community that they're safe if you don't know who you're looking for? Unless, because this is one possibility. I want to stress possibility, guys. Unless you already know who you plan to pin this crime on, whether they did it or not. I'm going to reiterate that so what I'm trying to communicate doesn't get lost. You had a description of your suspect, a quadruple murderer or multiple. You had it, but in this case, you're saying it's one, singular. So you had a description of him from one of the surviving witnesses. You don't put this out to the concerned public while you're still looking for them. In whose mind do you expect that to make sense? This sounds like, a lot of this stuff sounds like a small town police department that maybe has been getting away with some things for the longest, and now how they operate is being exposed to the public, and we're not just going to look past it and go for it like maybe y'all have bullied those citizens in Moscow to do. Now, I don't know, because when I think about that, I also have to think about and remember the other agencies were bought in on this. And if we can see this stuff and raise these questions, then I'm pretty sure that they can too. Why wouldn't they raise some of the same questions? Which says to me that maybe they have, and then those questions have just been answered in ways that we're not privy to yet, and that's okay. They don't have to give us all the details of their investigation. But it's just a lot of little things, one of them being you have a description of a suspect that you're still looking for, and you don't release that until after a man you're accusing of the crime has been arrested. When if you were to release that, then the public could have been able to help you find that suspect possibly sooner, like it's done in a lot of cases, if not all. Hell, I don't know. I'm gonna tell you what, you know, that mood that I told you about, where that came from. So once again, I'm reading the comments and the feedback, you know what I mean, on some of these posts. And somebody says, there's no toxicology report. Hold on, rewind, man. Rewind, man. Can we talk like adults? Y'all know how I am, man. You do realize all these damn theories that we're coming up with, none of them are substantiated, right? Right now, somebody in today or next week gonna come out and say a snowman flew down from heaven and murdered those people and drowned them, and then put other people's blood on their body to make it look like it was their body, but they were actually drowned to death. I'm sorry, to make it look like it was their blood, but they were actually drowned to death. Let me slow my ass down, because I don't stumble when I'm talking in real life. I get frustrated on these videos and a little camera shot, man. All of these damn theories, guys, I say this respectfully, from the drug angle to the other people being involved angle to the tunnels angle to their bodies were located somewhere else. Hell, even my theories, the damn serial killer, the ritual killer, we don't know any of this. And sometimes I've said, I don't want to be too redundant here because I went over this in the last video. Sometimes we key in on these damn theories like we know that's what happened. We don't know any damn thing. I'm not going to stay there too long. But no toxicology report? I said in my first video, when things got a little suspicious, and maybe it was my second video, when things got a little suspicious, I said, yo, because how can 2 girls murder 4 people? I mean, number one, stop asking that damn question like it's not possible. Why don't you answer your own question? That's how I play devil's advocate, guys. When I come to a conclusion or a theory, I say, okay, well, now let me myself examine it to see where there are holes in it. So I'm going to re-ask that question, and then I'm going to give you a couple of the answers. Well, one of the answers that I had. How can 2 girls murder these 4 people? They're weak, they're feeble, they're this, they're that. You're lying like hell they are. Women murder people all the damn time. But you asked a particular question. A particular question was being asked then. These are your roommates. I said all of this. I'm not going to edit this video like I usually do. Segue, I'm gonna get back to that. Man, shout out to you guys who are still watching my videos. Sometimes YouTube throws them in the algorithm, and the next thing you know, I got 4,000-5,000 views. I never get that. My videos stay around 300-400. I'm satisfied with that because that's what God has them at. And that's because a lot of you, for whatever reason, you come around, you remain around, you're always in the comment sections, you're always interacting, you're being you, you're not disagreeing with me. I appreciate that more than I'm ever going to be able to say. I'm going to leave that there before I get too off track. These are your roommates. Who would have access to their rooms? Who would have access to their food? Who would be able to go in their rooms in the middle of the night without raising any suspicion? If it's not two damn roommates who live with them, then damn, you tell me who. So I'm just saying all that to say, the answer to your question, how could two girls murder 4 people? Hell, it's a million different ways they could have did it. But one of them is they could have very possibly poisoned or drugged, I didn't say poison, drugged these people's food or drinks. That way they render them more helpless and they're able to just go in there and do it as 2 girls. That's possible. I'm saying all of this for a reason, guys, because that was one of the biggest things that they probably drugged them or possibly drugged them if they had something to do with it and they did it alone. Or even if they helped somebody else do it, they did the drugging and then the other people came in on it. I threw that all the way out the window because somebody said, and this goes back to all these wild and outlandish ass theories that we all have, including me. I threw that out of the window because somebody said, well, now they did a toxicology report. But then somebody said today they didn't do a toxicology report, and this isn't the first time that I've heard this said that the medical examiner didn't do a toxicology. So guys, you tell me what the hell is going on, and I don't even really care for the answer. I just want to make the point that we don't know what's going on, because over here you got one thing being said, and over here you got another thing being said, and if it's not facts, number one, stop driving your damn self crazy acting like it is. Do you know what the definition of facts is, guys? Circumstances, information, people, places, and things that can be substantiated beyond argument. Those are facts. Your ass believing something ain't facts. There's plenty of things that I believe. Y'all know where I'm going with this. If it ain't Jesus Christ, by now, if you're a regular, you can finish that for me. Do you know what the definition of facts is? If it's not facts, number one, stop saying it like it is. Well, I already did number one, didn't I? So number two, stop saying it like it is. And number one might have been, if I remember correctly, stop driving yourself crazy as hell pursuing things like they're facts and you know damn well they ain't when you sit down and use your reasonable mind to consider them. 10 minutes in, let me get to some more points I wanted to make. That just set me off when I seen that in my comment section on YouTube, because it just reminded me, like I said, that isn't the first time that I've seen that. I let my theory go because I seen somebody saying that was my bad, because I seen them say that and I just took it at their word. Okay, well, hell, I seen a couple people say the medical examiner did deliver a toxicology report. So if they're saying there was nothing in their system, then that's just one theory that I had that's gone, because it was just a theory. I never thought it was fact that they drugged their roommates. It was just something that was a possible answer to the question, how could 2 women do this? I just want to let you guys know, man, because these things do, you know, here I go on my soapbox. It starts to mess with your mind, that psychological aspect of who you are. Stop chasing. And it's not even just with this case. This is one reason I'm such an introvert. I don't have time. I can tell you a story about last night. I don't have time to be going back and forth in conversation, argument, or debate with people that are trying to convince me things are facts that it don't even take a 2-year-old to try. Like, it's logical. It's just right there in front of you. You giving an opinion. You speculating. That's not facts, and it's not hard to call that out. A lady said last night on the Facebook comments, once you start speculating that police officers are guilty of committing misconduct that could be a felony, you're not being nice anymore. In whose mind does that make sense? Police officers have always and still do, even on this case, we have some commit acts of misconduct that are felonies. So why in the hell would we not consider that a possibility in every criminal case? Y'all don't even be making no damn sense. Let me slow my ass down, because I don't be making no sense when I get hyped up and start to just all over the damn place. Don't nobody want to hear that, bro. Slow down and say what the hell you saying. Crazy as hell, man. Karen Reed. Y'all know about that case? I don't. Not gonna pretend I do. Popped up on my damn Twitter feed. X, I guess I'm supposed to say X. Sorry, Elon Musk. Are y'all gonna fight? Who gonna whoop who? Beat. You or Mark? I hope you win. I'll be honest with you. I know they don't like you on Twitter, but Mark Zuckerberg been getting on my nerve personally for way longer than you have. I just got the Twitter, so I hope you beat us. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it real with you. Sorry, Grandma. Rest in peace. You know I love you, baby. Karen Reed, go check that case out if you don't know anything about it. I'm not gonna stay here long. For all of you, including the lady on Facebook, I'm not being disrespectful, young lady. I'm just responding to the illogical statement you made that we shouldn't consider that police ever commit felony acts of misconduct. Maybe you want to check the Karen Reed case out too. And guys, for the record, when I say police, I'm talking about all levels of law enforcement and people employed in our justice system. I don't give a damn. Not just the cops you see in cars and on the streets. Damn, in the Karen Reed case, why is the prosecution being accused of, for a year, if I remember correctly, withholding, and watch this, exculpatory evidence? Exculpatory evidence. The prosecution is being accused of withholding in the Karen Reed case. What is the exculpatory evidence, Mr. Talking all the damn time? The exculpatory evidence points to the fact that there may be other possible suspects who are responsible for this young man's death. The cop who died, they saying that she left him in the snow to die after she hit him. Correct me where I'm wrong. And the prosecution for over a year has been withholding exculpatory evidence that points to other potential suspects in this case. And if there are other potential suspects in the case, that also means that Mrs. Karen Reed may not be responsible for this crime. Let me repeat that, because, you know, some of y'all slow like me. Let's just be accountable for who we are. Some of y'all slow like me, right? I'm slow, y'all slow. Okay, cool. And the prosecution is prosecuting people, a person that they possibly shouldn't be prosecuting because they got the damn proof that the person they prosecute may not have committed the crime. Hold up, let me say that a damn again because y'all back in the blue way too damn much out here. The prosecution is prosecuting a person that they probably shouldn't be prosecuting because they have the evidence that this person possibly didn't commit the crime. You telling me that happens in America? Y'all funny as hell. Let's go check the case out. You might hear some things that you've heard before in another case. Let me get to some of the points that I wanted to go over slow so I can end this video. We 14 minutes in. Bryan's team is concealing evidence because the prosecution just wants to build a case around whatever they get. Don't misunderstand me, man. When I start asking these questions and tell you guys I'm not convinced Bryan is innocent, I'm not. I got so much in common with that man. At this point, I'm damn near sure he might be a mastermind. Now, that isn't, I said mastermind. See how your mind works? Remember what I said about facts are facts? It's not factual that I said because I'm considering he may be a mastermind, that I'm saying his mastermindery is used for criminal activity, and that's what some of you heard. I didn't say that one time. Go rewind the tape. You know damn well I didn't say that. I said I'm considering he may be a mastermind. That doesn't have to be criminal. You can be a genius and use it for nothing but noteworthy things, non-criminal things. But that's how our minds work. That's why we need to be on top of our mind unless we got mental problems. I think the man might be a mastermind. Now, if you are a mastermind, then it's also not out of the realm of possibility that your ass could pull off something like a quadruple murder and get away in a way that leaves no trace of you. I'm sorry that offends you guys. I'm sorry you hear that like me saying, that's me saying that he's guilty or I think he's guilty. But you need to check yourself, not me, because I've never said any of those things. I'm saying what I'm saying. But you're hearing it like that, and so some of y'all jumping in the comments, well, I don't mind. I'm just saying stay on track, baby. You're wasting energy and effort because you're rebutting things that I never said. I don't know the man is innocent. You don't know the man is innocent. Just like they don't know he's guilty. Here we go with the redundant stuff. I'm just telling you I ain't convinced either way. But once again, redundantly, if I had to judge legally, ain't no way in hell I could convict this man. And one reason is because the prosecution don't got no damn case against this man. We talking right now. I ain't talking the Bryanators, what's going to pop out of the Jack in the Box later. I'm not talking about that. Right damn now, they literally have no case. Let me slow down again and say, this is why I tell you guys, I don't be making videos like that, man. I really just got frustrated and wanted to make this video because I do have some notes and some things that I want to mention. But there's no new developments in this case. All of these damn events. Shout out to y'all for sending me videos. I'm pretty sure that some of this stuff will be relevant, if not all. Hard for me to believe all of it is. Shout out to y'all for sending me videos and information. I promise you, man, I'm swamped. I started this video saying, I just finished creating content for my other platform. But I promise you, God will tell you, I do watch and I check out what I can. You have a life too, so you know. So I'm not telling you don't send me videos and don't send me content and don't send me information. Some of it has been very helpful. Don't hear with your brain and your mind missing. Hear with your brain and your mind working. Hear what I'm saying. Send me the content. I will check out what I can, and especially what sticks out to me, because some of it has been helpful.
Some of it wild as hell too. I ain't gonna lie.
But at the same time, I want to remind you guys, one reason you're seeing these videos from these content creators is because they just pumping out stuff and I ain't even saying making up in a way that's condescending toward them and what they're doing, but making it up because no new real evidence exists. Until we get like another court hearing scheduled, another motion filed, another response to the motion that was filed or something, nothing new exists. We're just reiterating and rehashing and being redundant about the same things over and over again. And what's going on back and forth right now in the case, in my estimation, I don't know this to be true. The prosecution could have bombshells that they're about to drop on Ann Taylor's head. But the prosecution, y'all wiggling, man. Y'all fumbling and trembling. That's what we say. If you don't know what that means, I'm sorry. Can't extend the video by explaining it to you. Y'all don't like to watch past 32 minutes. They fumbling and trembling all over the place. They don't have anything. They trying to see if they can wiggle worm Ann Taylor into giving them more information that they can build a case around. That's what they're doing. They literally want Bryan to give them the case against him. And then, in a sense that it doesn't matter. Ann Taylor has already said this in the courtroom to the judge. Shout out to her. And she's very kind and respectful about it. It doesn't matter what Bryan does or says. They're going to use, she literally said this. They're going to use it to say this means he's guilty of the damn crime. And that's why Ann Taylor is saying, we not giving you nothing. Everybody's like, well, why would she want an ex parte hearing? Why would she want an ex parte hearing? That makes no damn sense. I'm no litigation expert. I just think a little bit logically over here, guys. I don't think it could be some of these extracurricular, reasons and explanations y'all are coming up with. But to me, it could be as simple as hell. Every damn thing we say, they take it and try to attach it to their case. So I don't want to say it to them, Judge, until I absolutely have to under your orders. But I will tell you, it could be just that simple, guys. Y'all coming up with all these extra reasons and saying it can't happen for this reason. And I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying when I hear that, I see what's going on with the damn case. To me, I wouldn't want to tell your ass nothing for that reason alone. Forget what the legal reasons may be. Everything I say to you, you try to use it against my client. And plus, not only do you use it against my client, all these gullible ass witch hunters out here bite it up, eat it up, and then the media begins to regurgitate it to more and more people. So we're stacking the odds against the people that we're selecting our jury pool from that think my client is guilty just because he's still breathing. I ain't telling you SHIT. I don't give no damn what whoever think about it. Use that against me, which y'all also do. So I want to reiterate the point I'm making here is it's very clear to me if the prosecution had a case, they would be doing what they're doing out there in Long Island. If the prosecution had a case, they would be doing what they're doing in so many of these other cases. They would be assuring us they have a case. They wouldn't be though in Long Island, the police ain't gave us all the information. That's the only one that's coming to my head right now. In all of these cases that we see in the news, the police aren't giving us their information, but they're giving us enough information to say, well, damn it, this is fair to us for what that matters, that we get to see this person in the courtroom. Y'all proving their guilt and them fighting for their innocence. That's fair. We don't see that in this case, and more people are saying that we don't see that. What I see, and I don't know if y'all see it, is the prosecution wanting Bryan to give them their case. We ain't telling y'all nothing. Segue, guys. I don't give a damn if you're innocent or guilty. Police will tell you this. This is not an anti-police sentiment. This is not anti-police rhetoric. This is protect your freedom and know your rights rhetoric. Never talk to police. I'm a police accountability watcher. I audit the police. I seen one today and air quotes let them off the hook. I kept working and didn't say anything to them. I checked them to make sure they know their jobs, to make sure they know the oath they took to uphold our rights. I talk to police because that's what I do, and I educate myself to do it. The average citizen doesn't know the average things you need to know to deal with the police. Never talk to the police, man. Just know your rights. The only reason I advise an average citizen to talk to the police is if you need them to provide you service, which is what you pay them for. I'm sorry. They are trained to find criminals, even where no criminal exists. Sometimes they do it because they just want to go home. Sometimes they do it because they're making a human error. Sometimes they do it because they're totally crooked. But that's what they're trained to do, find criminals, and they will, even if they have to make something up. I don't know how many of these damn cases we're going to have to see that and know that. Never talk to a police. If they want to talk to you, you have your First Amendment right, your Fifth Amendment right, all of your rights, your Fourth Amendment. You have your rights for a reason, and using them doesn't make you suspicious or a criminal. It makes you a free American citizen. Let me get back to my next point. Go with some of these theories, guys. Bryan did it. Sorry. Whatever the opposite of you Bryanators is, it's possible that Bryan is involved in this crime. It's even possible that Bryan did it alone. It is. I'm going to leave that there for y'all to argue with and debate against me with in the comment sections. I don't mind. We're all free to have our own opinions. But the reality is that is a possibility. Bryan is being framed. Bryan Naders, I'm sorry, that is a possibility. Is it the case? Who knows? I don't know. You don't know. I'm going to be honest with you. Looking at everything that we've seen, here we go being redundant again. It damn sure look like that man being framed. Going back to my original point, you got a description of him. You don't even tell the public what it is so we can help you find him or to keep ourselves safe. He might have drove up in my damn driveway and I invited him in for lunch or something. I didn't even know it because this description that you allegedly got from this surviving witness, you kept it to your damn self until after you had already arrested the man. There's a lot of stuff in this case make it seem like this man was framed to me, but I don't know that. The university and the Moscow police are involved. Sorry, back to blue guys. I don't mean no disrespect. I'm not trying to just point at you and punch at you and poke at you. It's possible. There are crooked police in every damn law enforcement arena. There are. We find it out over and over and over again. I'm in Miami. I can't tell you how damn often I look at the news because it pop up right on my phone in my notifications. And another Miami cop done got busted for doing some crazy shit. I'm still trying to figure out why I think it was the commissioner shot himself in the head. First they said he did it on the side of the road. Then I seen it where they said he was in a motel room and he still trying to figure that out. I'm sorry. It is very possible that the Moscow police is involved in this. Why is nobody talking about this? I'm so backed up on content creation. Why the hell do I always have to tell myself to slow down? It's like, I don't know what's up with me. Why is nobody talking about the fact that the Idaho University is trying to buy the University of Phoenix? You following me? They need money. They can't afford to lose money right now. They're trying to acquire the University of Phoenix like they're already in negotiations and talk about that. You with me? I'm going to post that on my Twitter. The Idaho University, I've never heard of Idaho University until this case came up. Always heard of the University of Phoenix. I think they're nationwide, if I'm correct. Idaho is trying to buy a nationwide online college. I think they have campuses too. They have one in Savannah. You need money for that. If nobody's coming to our school because murders happen and we don't know what happened, it's going to slow down. I'm going to leave that alone. It's possible. Big conspiracy theory, the drug conspiracy. All of these things are possible, guys. I just want to put them out there. None of them are confirmed. That's how we need to think about these things. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you what makes sense. A lot of us are running around chasing theories and speculation like they're facts. You're going to drive yourself crazy into the nut house. I already went over why you shouldn't, talk to cops and stuff. That's the last point I have on this paper, man. They are fishing. When the police pull you over, you were speeding. Why are you asking me where I'm coming from and where I'm going, sir? It sounds reasonable, right? Because you want to know my logic for speeding. 9 times out of 10, you're going to give me a ticket anyway. What does that have to do with anything? They will ask you for your phone number. They'll ask you for your social security. They ask you all type of things they are fishing. They will randomly ask you, can they search your car? Do you mind if I search your car? Because they know legally you have a right to deny that unless they see something in it or unless they bring their little drug sniffing dog that they've already trained to give a hit so they can go in your car. You can deny them searching your car. Hell, you can deny them searching you if you haven't committed a crime. They know these things. So what they do is they fish for any little small tidbit of information to allow them to go further, which is exactly what's happening with the prosecution in this case. They don't have a case against this man. This is the bottom line. If they did, they would be slam dunking all over the place. They're trembling and fumbling around. They're tiptoeing around, trying to see what they can make the court give snatch out of Ann Taylor so they can turn around and use that against Bryan. If not, then you tell me what's going on. Innocent until.
Outro. Somebody said this in the comments, man. I had this thought and then I forgot to put it in the video and somebody said it in the comments and reminded me. Possibility, guys, possibility. One reason that Dylan and Bethany are not in jail is because as long as they are free and maintain their freedom, then the Moscow Police Department and whoever else may be involved in this case can bargain, use that as a bargaining chip with them. But as soon as they arrest them, which at any given point in this case, it seems like one or both of them should have been detained, at least at the minimum, arrested, at the max. As soon as they arrest them, they have no more bargaining chips, and then they can, Dylan and Bethany, blow the entire case wide open. They can tell what they know. At this point in the case, it's obvious that one or both of those girls knows something, going back to the Karen Reed case, that someone doesn't want revealed. And once again, as long as they're free, then whoever those people are, the powers that be, can use their freedom and say, hey, we're going to let you stay free free as long as you keep this to yourself. But once they arrest them, what other bargaining chips do, the hidden people in this equation, in this air quotes conspiracy have? They have none. It's time to tell everything so I can gain my freedom again. Those girls know something. We all know it at this point in time, and I just wanted to throw that in there because I had forgotten that it was a thought I had, and probably a thought many of you had. Man, it's no longer a hot day in Miami. It's 7:58. It's still warm because it's 82, but it's rainy now, and I hope it's beautiful and serene where you're at. I'm gone.
So what was particularly interesting about the Alibi, or at least people's reaction to the Alibi, is the sort of general consensus that I saw from sort of the commentariat on the Twitters and other social media was, wow, 8 months later, and we got this bombshell alibi, right, from Bryan Kohberger. Oh, he's just driving around. We waited 8 months for this? We waited 8 months for this, was sort of the commentary. We spent all this time begging him for any sort of information about where he was. And after 8 months, and only after the state really made him do it, did he come away with his bombshell revelation. And the lawyer in me was just thinking to myself, well, of course he did, right? You don't want, as the defense attorney, to commit before you have to. You don't want to put any cards on the table before you have to. This is one of the reasons that lawyers tell you to keep silent for as long as possible, because even the truth can hurt you, because the truth locks you into a particular story. It locks you into a particular narrative. Now Bryan Kohberger has the narrative, yes, I was out driving around, when maybe he might have wanted to try to argue something else at trial. But now his ability to do that is inhibited because he's committed to something else. And so he doesn't want to put his cards on the table any sooner than he has to. This is why attorneys will tell you to keep your mouth shut, because even if what you say is true, it reduces options down the road. Also, we don't know what the state has, right? And we want them to put their cards on the table before we put our cards on the table. We want to make the other side move first, which in a criminal trial, of course, you can do. Because as a defendant, you have the right to Brady evidence, you have the right to see the state's case. So the state has to reveal its case in its probable cause affidavits and its other documentation. The state has to give you a lot more information up front than before you have to say one word. And you want to drag as much out of the state as you can and say as little as you can, as late as you can, so as to not lock yourself in any particular story. Because even the truth can hurt you.
No new developments. What about the defense expert Ann Taylor just hired?